Have you noticed it's getting harder and harder to determine what's real and what's fake? My wife went through a fast food restaurant. She received this as change, and I don't know if you can tell, you're probably thinking, well, it looks real, and she thought it was too, but turns out we actually took it to the bank and verified it is counterfeit. A $5 bill. I mean, we know that there's 20s that are fake, and we know there's 50s that are fake, and hundreds that are fake, but a $5 bill? So look at all your change, even the smaller amounts. You know, I even have trouble looking to determine whether flowers are real or not, because sometimes the fake flowers look real. And you know, when it comes to money, when the law enforcement, when they try to catch counterfeiters, they don't study all the different ways that you can counterfeit. They study the real thing to determine what is genuine and what's not. And in our world especially, there's a lot of deception out there. And you've probably heard of a thing called AI, which is artificial intelligence. You know, that word artificial means fake or phony. And it's getting harder and harder to tell what's real and what's not real. I did some research, and I hope that you're the kind of person, since you clicked on this video, you're obviously an intelligent person. And since you're still watching, you're clearly intelligent, more so than the average person. But I think it's good when you're trying to figure the source of something to look at all of your different options, like what could be behind this? Why are we seeing more and more deception? So I looked at different options and different materials and information. And one of the things I looked at is the Bible. Now don't click off, all right, just hear me out. But in the Bible, it talks about how Satan appears as an angel of light. And I thought, an angel of light? Well, that goes against everything I ever thought. That's not the Hollywood version. I mean, they usually picture him red and he has a pitchfork and, you know, he has horns, but that's not what the Bible says. It says that Satan appears as an angel of light. And then I got to thinking about that because, you know, I had a grandmother who was a very godly woman and you know, told us to go to church and Sunday school when I was little. Maybe you've had a grandmother like that. And from stories I remember when I was a kid, like for example, in the Garden of Eden, in Genesis chapter 3, verses 1 to 6, it talks about the serpent tempting Eve. I'm sure you're familiar with that passage or you've heard that story, but it says that the serpent was more subtle and crafty. And then I kept looking and researching and looking at other passages and found out that Satan is called by Jesus himself in John chapter 8, the father of lies. When I looked at 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 13, it says that in the last days that things would get worse and worse, which is what we're seeing happening, people deceiving and being deceived. And I thought, well, that explains a lot when you look at the deception in our world. And so, again, I just encourage you to do your own research in terms of what's fake, what's real, and study the real thing. Again, I am a Christian by faith, and so I study the Bible. But I just want to encourage and challenge you in this world where the counterfeits are getting real. Make sure you do your research and don't listen as much to what people say, but watch what they do. That one piece of advice that will help you quite a bit in today's world to determine who's fake and who's real. Don't listen to what they say, watch what they do.